Well, every local landmark has a story, a history that you really can't see. Well, tonight we check out the former St. Mary's Hospital, sitting on the lake and getting a fascinating glimpse into the past. On a bluff overlooking Lake Michigan sits St. Mary's Hospital, and although it no longer has patients in its rooms, it still has a lot of history in its halls.
The building we're sitting in right now was built in 1909.
Lisa Fremming has worked at Columbia St. Mary's Hospital for 11 years. It's safe to say she knows a lot about the history of healthcare in Milwaukee.
Well, Columbia St. Mary's as a hospital system was founded in 1848 by the Daughters of Charity, and it was down on Cathedral Square, first called St. John's Infirmary. Then we moved to this plot of land in 1858.
Prompted by the need for local health care in a shipping and transporting town, the city's founders knew they needed to make something available for their residents.
Up to that point, if you were sick and you were rich, someone came to your home. If you were sick and you were poor, you were sort of set aside into an infirmary or a place where if you recovered, great, and if you didn't, that was the end of your life.
As you might guess, a stay in the hospital back then was very different from how it is now. Patients would stay for long periods of time, sometimes even months.
There was a horse-drawn ambulance for St. Mary's. So they would stay in the hospital and stay for a fairly long time, mostly in wards.
A common practice for patients with diseases like tuberculosis was to get them into the fresh air and away from the city.
That was exactly why the hospital was located up on this plot of land. In 1858, this was pretty much out in the boondocks.
As the hospital grew and medicine advanced, St. Mary's adapted and made significant strides in healthcare.
And if you look at everything from the first horse-drawn ambulance to the outpatient services to the burn center to the first heart transplant.
So if you ever find yourself at Columbia St. Mary's, know that it's come a long way because it's always been a pioneer, and you'll be looking at one of the best views in the city of Milwaukee. And that story was written by our own talented assignment editor, Mary Franzen, who also writes a historic blog on our website, TMJ4.com.
Very talented and a majestic building.
It's just a perfect location. And to think it was once in the boondocks.
Yeah, a piece of history.
Really.
Still